Hello guys, in this video you will learn how to create a Unity game that has generative AI. We've already seen how you can use AI for game ideas and to create graphics and sounds for your game. This time we will take it a step further and make AI truly a part of the game. You're probably wondering, is there any future for Unity now that AI is becoming more capable every day and some AI is already able to write games? I would say, at least for now, Unity or Unreal Engine is still essential for creating a professional game. Let's take a look at the strengths and weaknesses of Unity compared to AI. With AI you can create realistic video and audio faster and better than any 3D modeling tool can offer. But when it comes to gameplay, the developer needs to instruct the game exactly how it should behave if the player does something. With Unity scripting, you can do that much better than using plain text as you could do with AI. Also, AI is based on neural networks that work with signals, so there's always some sort of randomness in it. For a video, that's usually not a problem if a color or a pixel is slightly different, but for gameplay it needs to be accurate. AI is becoming more capable every day, but at this moment it's already good at generating images or videos from text. So let's utilize that in our Unity game. First thing we need to do is install ComfyUI. ComfyUI is a tool that you can use to work with AI models. There is a desktop version that has a Windows installer for it, but we are going to use this repository because we want to use the API, and the desktop version doesn't have the API. I'm using Git and Python. I assume you have installed that on your computer. If you don't know how to do it, you should look it up because I'm not going to explain it in this video. So I'm going to do git clone and then clone this repository. So let's get the link over here. And now it's downloading all these files on my computer, and then we can run this main py script. This is the script, the small batch file I created to run the ComfyUI. This one is a bit more complicated than usual because I also have the desktop version installed on my PC, and I have all the models that I downloaded in there. So it's making a combination of both those installations to run this API version. But basically you only need this part. So you need to have Python installed, and it will then issue the Python command and run this main py file. Okay, so now the repository is downloaded, and I'm going to run that batch file that I just showed you. It takes a while to start up. And you can see over here that there is a link to the GUI. So let's open that. And now you can see that we have the ComfyUI interface over here. There's already some model in it that I opened before. But you can go to templates here, and then you can download any of the templates. What we will use in this video is Z-image. It's the fastest image generating AI model that's currently open source. So you can probably find it over here. This is the workflow, and then you need to download these models and save them in these folders of the ComfyUI. It's explained over here where you should put them. These are quite big, so it's gonna take a long time. And after you've done that, you can type a text in here, and you can specify like the size of the image and some other things, like if you wanted to use a different method to generate it. But the default is already okay. So, and then once you run it, you can generate that image. You can see over here with the green line what part of the workflow it's currently executing. And if you open the console, you can also see some information about what it's doing. It's now basically loading the models, which are quite big. So you can see that over here in my task manager that the disk is very busy because it's loading stuff. And memory is increasing because it's loading it from disk into memory. And once that's done, this memory will stay stable. This one will go down because the disk is finished. And then probably the GPU will go up to like almost 100%. So then it's actually generating the image. So that's how you can recognize it over here. So now at the moment it's already generating the image. You can see that it takes 9 steps. You can see that now GPU is up. And in just 9 seconds, all this text will be interpreted and result in a picture. So this is like the default text: Latina female with thicky wavy hair, harbor, pastel houses. Yeah, and this is the final result. So that's exactly like the description. So in this way we can generate any picture we would like, and we can use that inside a game. It takes 9 seconds, but maybe in future it can take less than a second, and we can really generate stuff at runtime while playing the game. Okay, so the image generation is working, but we didn't use the API yet. We used the user interface over here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to save this workflow. I'm going to export it as API, and then I'm going to open it. And you can see it looks like this. So this is basically the same as you saw there graphically, but now as text. Here is the part where you input the text. And if you want to use that in the API, all we need to do is add an extra node over here and embed all the other things inside it. And this is called a prompt, and the value is this complete workflow over here. So you can just copy this and insert it over here. So if you create something like this and then you just put this inside, then you have that. And then you can use a REST client like Postman. I'm using Insomnia over here, and you can paste this as a body. So prompt and then the complete workflow. And if you post this to the prompt endpoint, so this is again the URL of this running ComfyUI instance. And if we now press send, by the way, I changed the text to a forest with snow, trees, and a shed instead of that Latina woman. So if I now press send, it will immediately return and give us an ID. And if you look at the ComfyUI, it's executing. Can do it once again. You can see that it starts to register those prompts, and then soon it will start to execute and generate the image from that prompt. So now we do the same as we did with the graphical interface, but we'll do it programmatically. And we can do the same like this, but then from Unity. So in that case, Unity can control the ComfyUI and instruct it to generate the images. Over here you can see the generated images. So if I go once again to this Insomnia and send it, you can see that it receives the instruction. But because we used the same seed, the image will not be generated again, because it would result in exactly the same image. So I can change the seed to something like this, and then it will really generate another image. Look, it's already starting, it's already finished, and here is the new image. So it's the same prompt as this one. It's a forest with snow and 2 sheds, but you can see that it's a different image now because it's a different seed. Okay, so now we've got that set up, we can go to the Unity Hub and create a Unity game. Let's create an HDRP game. Let's call it AI demo. I'm without inspiration today, and just click create. Okay, so we've just imported the starter assets, because I'm not going to create a game now. It's just using some demo application. So over here we have a scene that we can open, and it's pink right now because it doesn't use the right shaders. So okay, we've changed it to HDRP shaders, and now we have this basic demo project that we can use, and we will add AI to this. So first let's create some materials. I'm going to create a new folder over here called materials. And let's change first one thing. I want to change this guy. It's really horrible how he looks. If he's like a robot, he should look like metallic. So that's one thing that we will add, but after that we will just start with adding the AI. So okay, I think this looks way cooler. Maybe even make him a little bit like purplish, and also apply this material to his legs and his feet. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to add a few panels. So let's create a new section. Let's call it, I don't know, like space. And going to add a cube over here. Let's make him look to the cubes already when starting the game. And now we're going to scale this a bit. So I want to make this like tiles that will display some pictures that will be generated on the fly using AI. It's now in shadow, by the way, so also let's try to rotate the lighting, directional light of the scene. So this is better. And now let's add some more materials over here. Okay, now I've finished building the scene. So this is it. You can see that we have 6 choices over here, 6 panels, and they all have a material. Match choice 1, match choice 2, match choice 3, and so on. And they also have like a position that we will use. If the player gets near this position, this choice will be made. And if the player gets near to this position, this choice will be made, and so on. And I've also generated, created borders. So here it's like, this is like a skybox. So we can put some image on those objects, and then you will have it like a skybox, so it will change our environment. Okay, so if you take a look at this body that we used for the test, we need to copy the input of this and insert it into our project. I put it in this assets, and I created a folder called streaming assets, and inside that I have a file that contains that the body, the JSON body that we want to send to make the requests to create the images. We've also replaced some things like this, and especially this prompt. So we will generate those on the fly by using user input from Unity. So according to what the player does, the choices he makes, this prompt will change, and different images will be created. So then we have really something like a dynamic environment. So if you have saved this in this location, I can show you the script that I created. It's called the ComfyUI client, and this is the script that talks to the ComfyUI API. So here we can see the location of the ComfyUI API where we can post those JSON bodies, and we will replace some things. You can see that over here. Especially the prompt, as I said, is very important. So the prompt will depend on what the user does. So we will generate some images over here, and then he can choose one of the images, and depending on what images he chooses, we will give him more choices to more specify the image, and you will see in a second what I mean. And there is also this script called Scene Builder that can generate scenes depending on the user's input. Let's just run it and I'll explain it to you. So first we have a choice to put any object that we want in our scene. Let's take, for example, teacups. Next, this game will communicate with the ComfyUI and have the AI generate images depending on the user input. So it will now generate some images containing teacups, and we can choose one of the images to set the scene to. If you take a look at this window, you can see that ComfyUI is now running, and it's executing the workflow 3 times to generate 3 images. And here you can see the images with the teacups. So there is a choice now between a flat terrain, a hilly terrain, or a mountainous terrain. Oh, this picture is actually the nicest, but I will go for a hilly terrain in this case. So now we can see the scene is set to a hilly terrain. And you can use this to create like random content based on user input. So if you notice that the player prefers a scene with hills in it, then you can generate those. And so the game becomes truly unique experience for each player. And let's take a look at the script. You can see that this scene builder first made a choice between flat, hilly and mountainous terrain, and the second is forest, grass, desert or mud. So that's what it's generating now, and it's setting the textures and calling that ComfyUI client to generate the prompt. And then it replaces just that prompt part and runs the workflow again by posting it to the ComfyUI REST endpoint. Okay, so let's see, we've now generated images, a hilly landscape with forest, with grass, with desert or with mud. I will go for forest. Okay, here is a choice between autumn, spring, summer and winter. So I like the autumn theme. So and so on. You can specify it even further to make more choices, but I think you'll get the idea. And over here you can see the generated output. First I tried it with soccer balls, so you can see those images over here. But here's our teacup output. And I got this tool that you can use to check out the prompt. So there is some information in these PNG files about the picture, and this tool can extract that. And you can see here the prompt that was actually used to generate this image. A landscape with many teacups, that's from our first choice of the text input. And then we chose for hilly, and then forest, and then autumn, and finally bright colors. So then you get this image. So it gets more and more specific after the user has given more input. Okay, that concludes our video. I hope you have some ideas what you can do with generative AI now, and I'm curious to see if you have also any ideas how to use this in a game. Thanks for watching, and see you in next video.